Annyeonghaseyo, goeiedag, goeiemiddag, good evening, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiana. I'm 28 years old, and I am currently sitting in a picnic spot in Korea where people or families or friends would come and have picnics during the days, especially during spring or autumn or summer when it's just too hot or maybe a little chilly to be sitting outside. Korea has these wonderful little places that you can sit and then just experience the beautiful view under a nice roofed area with friends and family. This recording is actually not very well planned. While walking this morning, I just thought, you know what, I wanted to do an honest, raw recording with a Korean soundscape around. So there are people biking around me right now, there are birds, there are traffic, there are people talking, friends and family walking around. But I don't know, I had this idea just to have one recording where it's live, where it's raw, where it is me talking about what my life is now like, being back for a few months after being through quarantine. I haven't showered today. I got up at like 4 and did some work, and then I was like, you know what, I need to go for a walk. I haven't exercised in 7 years, 2 months and 2 decades, so I need to start to get back in that routine. And I think that really inspired me to do this is because getting back into the routine I had 2 years ago is really something I am finding difficulty with and something I'm really struggling with. I had this naive notion in my mind that once I come back to Korea, I would just jump into my old routine and everything would be as the way it was. But more and more I'm realizing it's now a little bit more difficult to acclimatize to the Korean, not the Korean culture, but the lifestyle I had and the lifestyle I want to have and the lifestyle I envision to have. So this might be a little bit a boring story or a boring video or a saddle video, but there's also some truths I think that we as expats and we as people who do YouTube videos on living abroad also need to share with people, is that it is adventurous, it is fun, it is nice, you get interesting and cool stories out of it, but there are really also times where you do struggle with living in a different country and sometimes getting lost in your dreams or your thoughts or your naive ideas before coming. Because I really thought before coming, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get here, I'm going to be back here and everything would be the way it was and I would just resume my normal life that I had in Korea before, and it is nothing like that. And I'm struggling so much to find myself within my life in Korea. I'm struggling to find a good routine, and I do blame myself for going back to South Africa for 2 years. I partly do blame COVID-19 for this, because being in lockdown in South Africa for 3-4 months in the type of lockdown we were, it really messed me up. It really messed up my thought process, it messed up my emotions, it messed up who I was as a person and how I saw things. And the more and more freedom I get to experience now and the more and more I go out with people, I start to realize the damage that the lockdown has done. Yes, I supported the lockdown, I understand why the lockdown was initiated, I'm not against the lockdown. I'm just now realizing the damage it did. And now I'm working on that to try and work through that and get back into a routine and get back into a normal life. I was naive to think that coming back would be this easy. Moving here the first time was a lot easier to deal with than the second time, which I didn't think would be the case at all. I was really expecting my life just to go back to the way it was, but of course we're living in a new world. For some people, they think we're living in a new world order, and that's also fine. But yeah, that is, and I think that's what's getting me down, and also that I feel like I'm not centered in this video, and that's really what's getting me down, is that it's this new world, it's this uncertain world, and I just want my normal old life back, and I'm struggling to adapt and I'm struggling to acclimatize, which is strange because I think that was one of the strongest features I had the first time I moved here, was I acclimatized and I adapted so quickly. I never experienced culture shock. I never had homesickness. Korea immediately felt like home, and for the first time now, Korea doesn't feel like home to me yet. South Africa also doesn't feel like home to me yet. I now feel more lost, and I really was hoping or expecting that I would come back here and I would feel home again, and there is a certain part of me that did, but it's not the same type of feeling or vibe. So this week has been rough on me mentally. I think this is something that's going to take a while to work through and to work out. I'm counting the days to where masks won't be mandatory and where sanitizing would be just a common thing, not because of corona, but just for general hygiene, and where you can get vaccinated, or if you do get it, it's not that bad or it's not that infectious. I mean, I'm counting the days down to that, to really live a normal life, because there are so many things I want to do and explore and experience, but again, coronavirus at the back of your mind the whole time, and I hate that, and I don't want to use that in a video at all. And this hit that I'm taking now from realizing how much I've changed and how much my life has changed and things not working out is really making me demotivated to do anything, to make videos or to put in those extra few hours at work where everything now becomes forced, because if I don't force myself, then most possibly I won't do it, because I'm struggling and I don't know how to deal. So I don't know if there are any other expats that feel like that. I think this is more aimed at people who went through the South African lockdown and then moved to a country where you are more free. This is also why I colored my hair again to this metallic blue almost. That is when I go through a midlife crisis. That is what I do. As I say, change is as good as a holiday, and I believe that. And if you are going through if you are going through tough times, then changes a lot of times they do help, and this is my way of dealing with everything that's going on around me. Is coloring my hair. I'm also planning to go for a haircut very soon once I get paid. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that today. Hopefully this video will go up within the next day or two, which will be around the 5th or the 6th of June, or maybe the 7th. But yeah, it's not always sunshine and roses and moonwalks and cloudy dreams over on this side, although social media does look like it sometimes, but it is not. There are many struggles that people won't understand unless you've moved to another country. I think I'm now really starting to feel the regret of moving back, and I think that's also a big thing that I need to work out, is because it's not just regret, it is also a little bit of anger towards myself for moving back to South Africa. And 2 of my friends and maybe 3 of my friends or something like that, the people that lived in Korea, especially foreigners, said I shouldn't move back, I'm going to regret it, and they were completely right. I do regret it entirely. With people in South Africa, I've had this conversation before with my parents and some friends, and I do agree with you. I don't regret it 100%, but I do regret about 99%. The 1% is seeing my friends and family. That 1% is meeting my niece and at least having some memories and experiences with her. But the 99% that I regret is really starting to mess me up. So now I'm sitting here dealing with COVID-19 things that I need to work through, and there's also then the life regrets that I need to work through, and getting back into some sort of schedule, and then making silly and stupid I don't know, plans and wasting money on things I don't need, and just I'm going through all the stages of like, if someone is in a crisis and need help, I'm having all those things. If people suddenly start to change their personality, or people suddenly change their hair, or people change something like that, that's a cry for help. And I'm going through that. I'm coloring my hair, I'm changing the way I look, my lifestyle is changing completely. I'm doing things that I wouldn't do necessarily. I'm making choices that I know are not necessarily good for me. It's not in a bad way. I'm not like going on some drug spree. It's just silly choices that I make that are just not the smartest at that time. But it's nothing bad. So if you ever watch this video and gets extremely worried, don't be. Many of these things are just demons, inner demons that I need to face and deal with. So that is my adventure story time at this stage. I hope the soundscape was beautiful. I don't know what you can hear. Hopefully it's not just wind. As this microphone kind of picks that up quite well. Yeah, I really didn't plan this video. This just popped up into my mind while I was just strolling around because I needed to get some exercise, and I thought let's make a very real, authentic, raw video where maybe I will even cry if it comes to that. But thankfully I didn't. I'm keeping that inside for when I'm home alone with a bucket of ice cream. Sorry if the lighting is bad, sorry if the angle is bad, sorry if I just look bad in general. Like I said, I haven't showered yet. I just put on some clothes, tied my hair back, and then just said fuck it, and I went for a stroll. I know things will get better. I know things are already getting better. If I compare the beginning of the week to how my week ended, it is getting better. This is just now mentally staying strong so that I can fix myself spiritually and physically and but I will stop here. I'll stop boring you. If you've ever had that experience, please let me know, especially if you've moved away from Korea and now you're moving, or you moved away from Korea and now you're moving back to Korea. Let me know in the comments down below. Please comment, share, and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful life, and all those beautiful things for you today. I need to go now, as I have a visitor. But don't let fear interfere with your happiness. You deserve all the happiness in the world. Groete, liefde, vrede, vreugde, geluk, blydskap, liefde en alle mooi dingetjies vir julle. Bye.